A brief message from your friendly neighborhood editing Jordan. We tend to try to keep things pretty PG-13 around here, but this is an improv podcast. So, who knows what we're going to say. Sometimes we throw in some swearing, some sexual content, and some violence. So, as a general warning, viewer discretion is advised. Also to be noted, the opinions stated about a certain tabletop role-playing game are just that, our opinions. We love the game and we like talking about it. So, any criticisms are really just all in good fun. That being said, wizards, please hire us. All right, with that out of the way, let's get on with the show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Nat One Podcast, aka Nope, because nope, you're not gonna want to hear what we're about to have to say. I'm Pertuset.
I'm Levi.
And I'm Jordan.
On to Warlock. Let's get some good news. Let's get some good news, huh?
Get me out of here.
I have heard that Warlock is probably the best class in the game based on the changes.
This
Now-
I always thought
does
Warlock
not
was
have
the
a lot
best
of
class in the game.
changes.
But that's the thing, is
outline
it-
here.
Yeah, is it good because they did a lot to it, or is it good because they didn't change very much
Let's
about
Kept
it?
their hands off of it.
Talking about the art, whatever this strange blue-purple man is, he's not looking at me, but I don't like the way he's looking, period.
I think he's
very
a
excited.
Firbolg.
He's way too
His-
happy. Is it?
Either
his
that or he's
mouth-
like a... I don't know.
Looks like a tiny Firbolg. if
His
anything.
mouth looks like the Jeff the Killer mouth.
Yeah.
A little bit. I think that he's been driven mad by his patron, and he's
You know,
about to eat
looking
that
at it,
orb.
It seems like the latter. It seems like it's good because they didn't change much about it.
I'm reading, I'm
Left it
just seeing
alone.
paragraphs right out
Yes,
the gate,
I
and
am.
I'm like, whoa. Okay.
Spell
So,
slots. Who needs them?
you, Eldritch Invocations, you,
You get him at level 1 instead of 2. Woo!
Yeah, that's just good.
received a major overhaul with key changes, including several quality of life updates. What? Wait. What quality of life updates can you put in your tabletop game?
Well, we streamlined some things.
Yeah.
Streamline the language.
Now, when
We
I look
streamlined some
at League of Legends patch notes and they say we included quality of life updates such as improving the UI or changing text to be more clear, that makes sense to me.
Like, I feel like it means you stop glitching through the wall when you go into this room.
Yeah, what
The-
does this
The
mean?
dichotomy of last episode, which was like, oh yeah, these are pretty good changes, a little bit of debate about Paladin, but overall, yeah, we like it, to this episode is wild.
Okay, let's take a look at
It's
some of the
hard.
big shifts.
So,
Pact boots are now Eldritch Invocations.
Yep.
Pact of the Blade, Pact of the Tome, Pact of the Chain.
That makes sense, I think.
yeah, it makes
Yeah.
sense, and that means that you can also get all of the pacts now if you wanted to as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
which
I
is
don't know
cool.
why you would, but you can.
Yeah. It
mean,
would kind of be a little bit of a
having-
waste.
Having Blade and Chain would actually probably work decently well.
But is it better than just getting Blade and getting Blade improvements and Chain improvements?
Yeah, That's a
maybe.
choice you can make now.
But it depends on what invocations they actually have available now, though. But
Yeah.
That's a
yeah.
choice you can make.
So I'm trying to sift through the garbage that they wrote to find what they actually changed.
they just added prerequisite levels to certain
Yep.
ones, so you can't take it at level 1. You get more Eldritch invocations, so you get 10 total, which is a great change.
I do like that. The
Uh,
Eldritch Invocations were where the class really shined.
Yes, lean
Yes.
into the Eldritch Invocations. I think we
which-
talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Some
Okay,
Eldritch Invocations can be repeated.
You're no longer
So-
limited to Eldritch Blast. Instead, you can choose one of your known Warlock cantrips that deals damage and add your Charisma modifier to the damage roll.
Such as Toll the Dead.
That's for things
Toll
like
the
Agonizing Blast. Yeah, you
That's
can just
cool.
choose a Warlock cantrip instead of specifically Eldritch Blast
I do
for
like
all
that.
those things that used to just modify
Mhm.
Eldritch Blast.
I like the idea of being able to affect other cantrips, because Eldritch Blast is cool, but sometimes you want a Warlock that doesn't just do that.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can
So,
get to multiple cantrips, so you have to choose a
This-
cantrip.
This is really funny to me. I'm sorry. And after that, spell slots, who needs them? With the exception of Eldritch Smite, which deals a significant amount of damage and gives the enemy the prone condition, none of the 2024 player Eldritch invocations carry the using a warlock's spell slot description, which for some reason means only Eldritch Smite has that now, but also that means they have opened the warlock spell list to Bard. Because no longer do you need a warlock spell slot to cast those spells.
So you can make a bard lock that just gets a
So
ton
they're
of
just
Eldritch invocations.
they're feeding
No,
all of this
no,
stuff into Bard.
No, they're not talking about spell list. They're talking about invocations.
Yes, that's talking about the invocations.
Are you? Is it?
Yes.
Eldritch
says
invocations
Eldritch-
carry the using a warlock spell slot description.
Yes.
Okay.
So it is different.
It allows the use of the bard lock, so if you go like 10 levels bard, 10 levels warlock, or even 15 levels bard, 5 levels warlock, you could get a lot of buffs to your bard
Mhm.
stuff,
Mhm.
depending on what's available in the invocation list. Okay.
Okay.
So that was a lot of yapping to say invocations aren't very different at all.
Yeah.
You just
They
get
they
more of
they've
them and
leaned
they
into
come
them a little
earlier.
bit harder. Yeah.
Yeah.
They haven't really changed the invocations themselves. They've just made it so that you can get more.
You get
Yeah.
more
Which that's good.
different prerequisite level. Yeah. Magical cunning, Taryn.
Yep.
You're the warlock
Okay.
guy.
Still can get spell slots back on a short rest. Fantastic. That's the identity of the warlock, is being a short rest caster. You can now get the old level 20 warlock feature, a nerfed version of it, at level 2, and then it still at level 20 gets you all of your spell slots back. So once per long rest, you can meditate for a minute to restore half of your maximum spell slots rounded up, that is a great feature. And then it goes back up to the original, all of your spell slots back at level 20 whenever you use it. So
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I actually don't like that change.
No,
I think it's too much.
too much.
They can already get their spell slots back on a short rest.
Yeah, it probably is a little bit too much, because whatever you would have a minute to meditate for that, you would probably just be doing a short rest anyways.
Mhm.
Like,
I'm not too upset just because
I'm not upset about it. I just think it was unnecessary.
Well, I think they just get so few spell slots as is that I don't think it changes much really.
Mhm.
Like, what's the
No, I
maximum
agree
you
with
get?
Taryn. I just think anytime you would be using this, you would also just probably be doing a short rest. There are situations where you might not.
yeah.
Oh, that's right. You can short rest infinitely even if you run out of hit dice, can't you?
Yeah,
Yep.
you can
Yes.
just say you're doing it even if it doesn't actually do.
Yep.
That's
But yeah,
true.
there could be situations. I'll be fair to them. There could be situations where you're like in a pinch and it's like, oh, we know that really soon we're going to be doing a combat, so I can take a minute to do this. But I feel like that's going to be like 10% of the time.
Mhm.
But still, it could be useful.
True.
But I do also feel like maybe it shouldn't have been a level 2 feature. I feel like that's a little early to get
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Uh,
I think it's okay.
So the next thing that it's talking about is subclasses, which they're also talking about in this, that it's at level 3 instead of level 1, which I think is just a problem with this new system, especially for stuff like warlocks and sorcerers, is it does
I-
not make sense for them to be getting their
No,
subclass at level
I-
3.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they thought this was a core thing they needed to address, was making all subclasses happen at level 3. I don't see what the
No.
problem was with having them come at different levels for different classes.
Yeah.
No, because it makes literally no sense flavor-wise for warlocks to be getting it at level 3.
No, it
Yeah.
Because
does
they would
not.
already have their patron.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So I think that's pretty dumb.
yeah.
Yeah. Like a
But-
bad flavor thing, which has
Again.
generally seems to be a standard across the board for a lot of the classes.
I just don't know why this was
Mhm.
their hill to die on. I don't know why they were like, we need every class to get their subclass at level 3. They were
Well,
about
it
this
says-
then.
Right here it says makes it easier for a party and players to manage their levels and for a DM to keep track of player advancement.
It was never
I
that
never had
hard.
DM
issue.
would
Yeah,
just-
no.
Need to know that. That's just a
It's-
thing that you're supposed to do.
You don't even need to know. Everyone's probably going to announce it. Everyone's going to be like, I
Yeah.
got my
Yeah.
subclass.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the ritual of leveling up is like, oh, I got this thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, Jordan, you're a big Warlock fan. Why don't you talk about the patrons?
Woohoo. So Archfey patron, Feywild nature of the patron, Misty Step added to the prepared spell list. You also get extra uses of the spell along with healing bonuses and damage effects on enemies when you use it, which is kind of interesting. Beguiling Defense has also been updated to reduce damage you take and inflict damage with a reaction.
That's cool.
Just be bouncing
that's not bad.
around. Okay.
Be bouncing around.
Mhm.
Don't know why it's at level 3, but sure. Celestial Patron, Celestial Resistance now also grants temporary hit points when you finish your magical cunning ritual or complete a short or long rest.
Okay.
Okay.
Fiend Patron, Dark One's Blessing now also grants you temporary hit points. They're really into the temporary hit points thing right now.
They love those, yeah.
They love those. If somebody else reduces an enemy to 0 hit points within 10 feet of you instead
Oh.
of once per so instead of you having to reduce them to 0 hit
Someone
points,
else
it can-
That's
can.
good.
That's
That,
actually
yeah, that
good.
helps.
not bad.
That
That's
helps
a
it a lot.
great
Yeah.
change.
Instead of once per long rest, you can use Dark One's own luck a number of times equal to your charisma modifier and use Hurl Through Hell again by expending a packed magic spell slot.
I'm so about that.
That
Oh.
is nice.
Dark One's
That's kinda
own
cool.
luck is it's great to see that you get that more than once per day. And my favorite feature, the it's the episode of SpongeBob with Squidward falling.
The Flight of Terror. Yeah.
I love that you can do that more than once. I don't even think it's that great of a feature, especially worth a whole packed magic spell slot.
It's just
But
funny.
it's just fun, yeah.
Mhm.
And of course, they decided to overhaul the Goo Warlock more than anything else.
No!
The much beloved Goo Warlock obviously
Not
needed
my
all of the
Goo-lock.
changes. It's now more heavily focused on the Lovecraftian eldritch horror elements of it. The features of the subclass are now heavily centered around using your patron's power to curse your enemies with hex, break their minds with psychic damage, and even unleash aberrant horrors onto the battlefield.
Hex maxing, boo. Hex on not Hexblade, boo. Guys, I just realized
No
I
X-Blade?
need to make a Triton goo warlock because then I have blue goo lock.
Hey, Tritons
You
don't
brought
have
it,
to
you
be
tied
blue.
it in.
It's
You
blue.
brought it back
it's
around.
blue. It's blue.
Tritons don't
it's
have to be blue. They can be green.
Actually, in Levi's world, all Tritons are green. Actually,
I'm gonna have
That's
a
not
skin
true.
Video
condition.
lore.
That's
I'm
not
gonna-
true.
I'm
He-
gonna
he
hurt
do- he
myself.
does not
because
speak
I'm
for
me.
blue.
Pertuset, he does not speak for
we
me.
don't know
He-
yet. We don't know. We just don't know.
Have we ever met a Triton?
No, we haven't.
Oh. Level 9. Contact patron. You can basically talk with your patron. It makes sense.
That's cool.
You
Yeah.
can it gives you contact other plane as an always prepared spell. You can use it once per day only to contact your patron without expending a spell slot. And you automatically succeed on the intelligence saving throw. So yeah, you can just talk to
Read
your
the
sugar
last
papa
line.
or mama.
That's cool.
Read the last sentence.
What?
Read it.
So go ahead and ask your patron if you can have cake for dinner. You deserve it.
Ugh.
That is so random. Why is that in there?
That's why it's funny, Jordan. It's so
It's
random and
not.
quirky.
It's so
So
stupid.
random.
I'm gonna
Alright.
bash my head into a wall.
Yeah. Mystic Arcanum. This is the big one, huh? Functions and progresses the same as it did for 2014 with one extra benefit. Whenever you gain a Warlock level beyond 11, you may replace one of your Arcanum spells with another of the same level. This was a choice under the feature Eldritch Versatility in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, which is now part of the base class. So it's unchanged. If you played with Tasha's rules, it's unchanged.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just integrating more of Tasha's into
Yep.
base rules.
I'll take it, I guess. I'm glad they didn't change it.
And then you get your epic boon at level 19. The one they recommend is called the Boon of Fate. Whenever another creature within 60 feet of you succeeds or fails a d20 test, you can roll 2d4 and add or subtract that roll from the d20. When you use this feat,
I
you can't
forgot
use
they
it
were calling it D20
short,
tests
long
now.
rest, or roll for initiative.
You already know that I'm gonna use this as often as possible to troll people.
That's a pretty good
Yeah.
ability. And
Yeah.
honestly, I feel like more people than Warlock are gonna grab it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it's best on the Warlock because of short rest.
What if?
Yeah.
I mean, you can still just short rest as
But it's
anyone
still
who's
best
not
on
a
the
Warlock to get
because
it
Warlock
back.
gets other stuff back on a short rest.
Warlock is the
Also,
short rest
you-
class.
You get
True.
it back on roll for initiative, so it doesn't. Okay.
Well, if you're using it like how Pertuset's using it, you're not going to
Oh,
care
yeah,
about
just not
initiative
doing
because
it
you're
in
just going to
combat.
troll people.
Yeah.
I think
talking,
just
like-
there should be an entire party where everyone has this.
Yeah, and then you can screw each other. All of you can.
Mhm.
But I mean, other.
Wait,
players-
wait, wait. We're not playing Critical Role over here.
I was gonna say. But wait, can you imagine someone's like, "Oh, it's my final death saving throw. I'm on 2 deaths or 2 losses, 2 successes. Oh, I got a nat 20." Or no, I'd be like, "I got a 14." Call it. Minus 44.
But then, wait. Based on how this is written, I think multiple people could hit one with this at the same time.
Yeah.
True.
You could have a party-wide battle of I'm raising it, I'm lowering
I'm
it, I'm
lowering it.
raising it.
I just want.
Also,
5 people all dogpile onto one saving throw.
also
It's like
based
the mercy killing thing all over again with the I'm gonna kill him. No! Everybody hands on.
based on how this reads, it doesn't use a reaction either.
No, it's just you
That's
can do it whenever
wild.
someone succeeds or fails a d20 test.
That's insane.
I like.
And
to-
it doesn't say it's limited that only one person can do it. Everyone can do it.
Everyone can do it.
Let's not call it a D20 test because that's stupid. It's a skill check or a
Oh,
saving throw.
When someone rolls a d20, you
There
can
you
use it.
go.
I like to think that this would happen where like Terran is playing something and he's about to like get the killing blow. He's about to do something crucial and he rolls a nat 1 and we're all like, no.
No.
So we all give him this
Everybody
boon.
No.
Dude, that is really cool if you have an
Oh.
entire party that's just able to do that.
I think that's a fun thing you could start out with. Level 1, everybody gets this boon without the increasing ability score, or even with it because it's an increase of 1.
Mhm.
It's just fun. Everybody could
Yeah,
have
that would be really cool.
Oh, if I remember to use it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
It
Warlock.
was good.
What
Yeah.
a deal. I mean, not
Mostly
much change.
unchanged.
Yeah.
Which is funny that people are like, it's the best now because
It's
Because they
not
didn't touch
the
it.
least changed one
Yeah.
is the best.
The best thing about it is the Fiend Patron got a big buff,
Yeah.
Yes.
which I'm
Mhm.
down for because I always like the idea of the Fiend Patron. I don't like the flavor because I don't care for Fiend Patron. It's a bit too on the nose for me.
Yeah.
But
Which
I like the stuff it does.
I also saw people freaking out about Celestial Warlock. I don't get it. It's
In what
just
way?
10 hit points.
What
I
were they
don't
freaking out about?
know. They were just saying it's busted and then not explaining.
Well, I mean, Celestial Warlock is the healing Warlock. That's like their thing.
Yeah.
So,
It's
like,
Celestial.
also giving them 10 hit points as well. It just makes them
Mhm.
better at being a support.
That's just okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
When people are saying it's the best subclass in the game now, and then just not
Okay,
explaining why.
I'll do another little delve into D&D next and r/D&D after this. I'll see what the people are saying.
No.
I'll see.
me-
I'll find
Don't
out.
forget to check r/1D&D
True.
because that's
Yeah,
where the
let
new
me-
stuff's at.
Yeah.
On to Rogue.
Rogue. All of our favorite underdog subclass, at least I think here on the podcast, we all have a special place for Rogue in our hearts just because we feel like they've been abused and beaten
By everyone.
like a poor dog that you
Yeah.
find on the side of the road and you just can't help but feel bad for it and want to take care of it.
It's like Jonathan Joestar's dog, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is the part where they put it in the furnace.
Exactly.
No, I don't know. I actually haven't read or heard anything about Rogue, so
Well, if we remember correctly from one of the UAs, we did like the stuff that they were doing through Rogues because they had opened up other possibilities for using your sneak die, which was interesting.
We'll see
Okay.
what happens.
I don't
Yeah.
know if they kept it. I don't know if they ruined it.
Well, rogues get weapon mastery now.
Okay. Sure.
You can nick and vex people.
You'll get Thieves' Cant.
Yeah.
And
Famous
it
for
gives
learning Thieves'
you
Cant.
an
Okay.
additional language and Thieves' Cant.
See, it's the dichotomy of them being like, rogues are known for Thieves' Cant, which is why we're doubling down on it. And then rangers are known for favorite enemy, which is why we're getting rid of it.
Either they were different groups working on each different class, or it was one group that all had a favorite class. Like they all agreed on their favorites and worked on
Mhm.
every class and were like, well, no one likes rangers. Let's gut it.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all like, yeah. Anyway, we jumped straight into the subclass.
Straight into subclasses, yeah.
Darren, talk about Arcane Trickster. It's your favorite.
Okay. Can swap out cantrip each time they level up. Cool. Versatile Trickster has been changed, so when you use the trip option of Cunning Strike on one enemy, you can target an additional creature within 5 feet of your mage hand.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's
Funny.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that flavor-wise for the Arcane Trickster.
Now
It
let
is
me
arcane.
see.
It is a trickster.
True.
Mhm.
Assassin. My homeboy.
Oh,
That's
I
your
just
baby.
read a part that I don't like.
You can now more
Mhm.
easily trigger Assassinate and Death Strike. Okay. But the
But-
damage has been reduced. Okay. I don't know by
Yeah.
how much, but
Well, I know
I
for a
hate
fact
that.
that Assassinate no longer automatically crits.
that's not
It just
good.
gives you more
Nope.
That's
damage.
stupid.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Wizards are again afraid of making assassins actually do what their namesake is.
Yeah.
You're more adept at poisoning and impersonating others. So they looked at that and they said, yeah, keep the impersonation skills. And you can move after
Well,
you
somebody
gain
has to have him
experience.
because the ranger sure as hell doesn't.
Yep.
True.
Soul Knife is still here and largely
Yep.
unchanged.
Yippee.
It was Natasha's. Of course, they're not going to touch it.
True. Psychic Blades, I think, now have longer range, actually. I think they increased the range of the Psychic Blades.
Mm-hmm.
Thief, standard, tried and true, the original. They're here. And they can activate magic items as a bonus action, which is actually interesting. That is dependent on how magic item heavy of a campaign you're playing. But if you talk about your DM or talk with your DM about it beforehand, that could be pretty good if you start being like a magic item junkie that has all of the special things that do special abilities that you can bonus action every round, fart down onto the battlefield.
That's fine for me, but I'm gonna be honest, that sounds more like an arcane trickster than a thief.
True.
Yeah.
True. They have a new cunning strike option called Stealth Attack that allows them to remain hidden after attacking.
That's crazy. You know what doesn't do that, assassin? Anyway.
Use magic device to all the most changes. It now offers you an additional attunement slot. So now, well, Artificer is not a core class in 2024. So now Thief has the most attunement slots out of all classes and subclasses. Grants you a chance to activate magic items without expending charges and allows you to use spell controls no matter your class or spellcasting prowess. So they
That's
really
cool.
leaned into the thief being like, you're using magic items, brother. That's your
fine.
thing.
I don't
That's
get
actually
that.
cool.
I don't get that though. Why
Well, I
is
think
that
I think the whole
thief's
thing is
thing?
supposed to be like they steal magic items, so then they're good
Why?
at using magic
Why
items.
do they steal magic items? What if
They're
I
the
just want
thief.
to pickpocket?
Mm.
Why can't I pickpocket?
Get a magic item that makes you better at pickpocketing.
I guess so, huh? I'll use my bonus action on it.
Yeah, exactly. Steady aim is now just a class feature. Good. Cunning Strike at level 5. The most exciting new tool in the Rogues kit, according to them. Offers new ways of utilizing sneak attack to cripple enemies or just safely. This is that thing we were talking about. You can add a special effect to your sneak attack by spending a sneak die on your damage to do that. So when you deal sneak attack, you can choose to forgo 1 or more sneak attack damage to add a cunning strike effect. At level 5, you get the following options: poison, trip, and withdraw. They're pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Poison poisons them. Trip trips them. Withdraw lets you withdraw. No opportunity attacks.
See, that's fine, but you already get bonus action disengage, unless they got rid of that.
Or they gave better bonus action economy, so there's other things you want to do with your bonus action.
Maybe. And then poison, I feel like we
But
don't even have
rogues-
to talk about the poison, which Assassin also got some poison stuff. It's poison.
Mhm.
Half of everything in 2014 Monster Manual is resistant or immune to poison. And additionally, they have to fail a Constitution saving throw to get poison, which everything in the Monster Manual had a Constitution of a minimum of 40. Oh well. That's just the level
Misinformation,
5
but
feat. No, I remember that goblin that had a 40 in con.
oh, that is just level 5, and you get more options later. I will also say, talking about what I just mentioned, the rogues do already have a pretty decent bonus action economy. There are other things for them to do if they don't want to use their bonus action to disengage, such as
There's one thing that
dash.
they can't do with their bonus action, and that's bogus, but whatever.
Yeah, yeah. But allows you to be more mobile without... Actually, this is just a free mobile feat, pretty much. So if
Well,
you
not
don't
free,
want to take
costs
the
you
mobile
1d6.
feat... True, it costs you 1d6 of your sneak damage. But it is a built-in mobile feat if you don't want to take the mobile feat and are willing to sacrifice that 1d6. However, if you really want that 1d6, you can still take the mobile feat.
True. This also does mean you have to get the sneak attack is the other condition.
True.
It has
True.
to be a sneak attack for you to then use this feature.
Yep.
I will say quickly before we move on much more, I wish they would just make a poisoner subclass.
That would be really cool, and I
Then
don't
you-
understand why they haven't
Mhm.
yet.
You could negate poison stuff and then it would work well. But instead they're like, we're just going to make it part of the core class and the assassin class a little bit maybe. Anyway, reliable talent. In quotations. I rolled a 2, but it's a 37. Get it? Reliable talent all but guarantees you'll be good at your choice skills. Whether that's sneaking around, I'm not going to read all that.
You get it at level
Uh,
7 now instead of 11. It is the same thing, but you get it
Yep.
at level 7 instead of 11 now. You get it earlier, which
That's crazy.
incentivizes multi-classing,
Yeah.
which they supposedly were trying to not do. But
Yeah, but you don't get
Although-
evasion. Unless it's just not written here.
I don't know. I haven't
we
seen
haven't seen evasion yet, which is mad. That's a
Well,
big change if they got rid of evasion.
They're only listing class features that are being changed in some way.
Okay.
Okay.
No,
I was gonna
I-
say
I think it's still there.
because evasion
just
and
didn't touch
cunning
it.
action and uncanny dodge have not been listed.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no way they got
I
rid of
want to
those.
point everyone to the top comment in the comments at the very bottom.
Wait, let me find it. Let me find it.
It's so over, Rogue Bros. It's
So Roguever.
oh
Okay. Yeah, reliable talent early is crazy. If I recall, that's the one that makes it to where no matter what you roll, you get a 10 so long as you're proficient in the skill.
yes,
Yep.
it is considered a base of 10 if you roll lower than a 10.
That's
Which,
pretty
I mean,
darn
I'm not
good.
mad at it coming earlier. That's kind of cool.
That's fun. That's fun, I think, for the rogue, because that one such thing people get out of rogue is being a skill monkey. I don't know
Mhm.
why you play the rogue to be a skill monkey, but that's one such thing people do. I tend to prefer the rogue for being someone that kills people, but anyway. Devious strikes. You get more cunning strike options with a host of nasty, read awesome effects. Days. They have to fail a Constitution saving throw, and they can only if they fail the Constitution saving throw, they can only move or take an action or bonus action on their next turn. Cost you 2d6. Frustrating for dungeon masters. Oh no, laser eye beam, 8d6, die. Knockout costs 6d6.
That's insane.
Bonk an
Bonk
enemy
an
on the
enemy.
head. Render them unconscious for 1 minute if they fail a con saving throw.
That
But
is pretty good if it works.
Yeah, it's Stunning Strike, but better. But it costs 66, and you have to get a.
They have to fail a
uh,
con save.
They have to fail a
And
con
they
save,
get
and you
to
have to hit a sneak
repeat it.
attack. Yeah.
You have to get a sneak attack. You have to spend 66 of that sneak attack. They have to fail the Constitution saving throw, and even after that, they repeat it at the end of their turn.
Okay, but that does give you at least an entire round for like everyone to gank whatever is unconscious.
Yes,
but I don't think it's worth 66.
Well, that's a choice you can make.
I was gonna say it depends. Sometimes
You don't have
want
to do
money,
it.
or not money. Sometimes you want damage. Sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
And then lastly, Obscure costs 3d6. Your target needs to make a Dex saving throw or be blinded until the end of its next turn. For 3d6? Okay. I don't think I'll do that, but thank you.
Yep. For me, the thing with all of these is they are just optional. These are just extra things the rogue can do now. They don't have to choose to use any of them. They can just do the damage if they want to still.
Yeah, that's just that the
So that's
options
why I'm
suck.
like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
I'm fine with all of these.
I just wish they were oomphed. You know what I mean? Like, make me actually want to consider using them. Because if they don't, I'll never use them. Make them blinded for a minute. Then I'll consider it. Even increase the cost if you just make them valuable. Like Knockout. Knockout's one to consider. The others aren't so far. But anyway, Blind Sense. You don't get it, loser. It's been removed.
Nope. You don't get more. Nope. No more Blind Sense.
Rip.
Slippery Mind received an upgrade. Now you get proficiency in Wisdom and Charisma saving throws. That's fine. There's not a lot of Charisma saving throws, but I'll take it. Like, the ones that warp you to other planes, if I remember right, do that.
Yeah, a lot of those are Charisma. A lot of things to get charmed are Charisma saving throws. So yeah, there you go.
Epic Boon. They recommend Boon of the Night Spirit. Increased ability score. While in dim light or darkness, you have resistance to all damage except Psychic and Radiant. As a bonus action, you can gain the invisible condition. Hey, isn't that the same thing the Ranger can do?
Alternatively, you can pick another non-epic boon feat at this level.
Like mobile.
So
true.
Rogues also get a level 20, which again, not everyone has gotten a level 20.
Or if they have, it just hasn't been listed.
Yeah, I think that's the thing.
So they can now use Stroke of Luck on saving throws, and when they fail a D20 test, I'm just reading what it says. It turns your roll into a 20. That means if a missed attack roll becomes a critical hit.
Yeah.
That's pretty decent for a level 20. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it was before. But now it still recharges on a short or long rest. So the only difference is now it also works on saving throws.
That's cool.
I'll take it.
So just a little bit of a buff to it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We didn't have it because I didn't go to 20 rogue.
Overall impressions. I like to stop on the classes that we have a little bit more veterancy in and talk about them a little bit more. So Pertuset, you're the one who played a 1 to 20. Well, 1 to 17, but it was pretty much a 1 to 20. Rogue.
I need to see the detailed outlinings for a lot of this stuff, especially Assassin. Including steady aim. Fine. That's fine if you want to play a ranged rogue. Ranged rogue is the efficient way to play if that's what you're into. The cunning strikes, it is nice to have options. I just wish that they were a bit stronger, or at the very least I wish they scaled with you, much like cantrips scale with casters. I wish there was a way to improve these options other than just unlocking new ones. Because I really think, like, Trip likely won't see more use outside of, like, once you hit Devious Strikes. Unless you combo it, I suppose, if you can do that. I don't know if you can or not. I don't think you can.
Well, I mean, if you want to set up for a, like a barb or a fighter.
Well, yeah, but Knockout will just do it better, though.
True. But for less things, Trip does it for 1d6 instead of 66.
But Knockout can be better because it can knock you out for a minute.
It can be. They're also different saving throws, so it depends on what you think the opponent is good at, saving throw-wise.
Yeah. I don't know. I wish there was a way they would scale a little better than what they do right now. They're not that good. Withdrawal's fine. It's a interesting thing. Poison. I've already told you what I feel
Poison's
about
not- yeah,
poison.
no.
Poison
Poison, no.
sucks in general. Not even just that feature, but poison in general.
Mhm.
Days I wish was a bit better, especially 2d6 and they only get to use one thing, assuming they fail a con saving throw. I don't know. I think there could be more options, and I think that they could scale a little better. Otherwise, fine. Reliable talent coming earlier, cool. Lets your class feel like more fun early. That's about it. All in all, fine. I gotta read more on the subclasses though.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I've already kind of given my 2 cents. I like that they're giving these new options. I would be more turned off if it was like these are replacing Sneak, but they're not.
Yeah.
Sneak's still there. You can just choose to use these. So that's why I'm like, okay, sure. I agree with Pertuset. I think they could have been done a little bit better. I would have liked to see more progressive stuff with them rather than one at level 5 and one at level 14, almost 10 levels apart. That's the only time you get any of them. But yeah, no.
Had we read the Ranger after this, I probably would have been like, this sucks. This is so bad. This class sucks. now."
It's better than
But
Ranger,
now that
so I
I've read
can't even be
Ranger,
mad.
I'm like, well, it's not as bad as Ranger.
Yeah.
They mitigated expectations. It was going too well, and we were actually raising the bar, so they had to drop it again before we got to the last one.
Compared to what has been given to some of the other marshals, though, this is
Pretty bad.
pretty bad because
Still not great.
barbarians and fighters got massive buffs.
Yes.
And rogues probably needed a buff.
Yes.
And it just really is like they've gotten some extra options, but not really an overall heavy buff.
If you still just miss the attack on your turn to start with, you can't do any of those cool features at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't.
And you only
Yes.
get one of them. You don't even get 2 tries.
Yes.
I'm still fine
I
with
think-
that. I just think they should improve your chances of hitting somehow.
I don't know. I feel like maybe even certain subclasses should get more than one. Like something about it just being one, because other
it is
than
one
Arcane
across the board
Trickster,
for rogues.
I know it's one across the board. I don't like that other marshals get to expand it, because the rogues are also marshals and also specialize in hitting things.
I think as a
understand why you don't
minimum,
give
all marshals should have
spellcasters-
2.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't think you should give spellcasters the opportunity to cast like 2 spells, but all marshals should be able to hit twice.
Yeah, at a
I'm-
minimum.
I'm fine with rogues having 1 because I think that adds more to their flavor. I think some subclasses could have more than 1, but just like, I think they need to improve your chances of hitting more than other marshals. I think that's the payoff.
Yes.
Marshals can hit more. The other marshals can have more attacks. Rogues should have an increase to their attack modifier, such as
Like
gaining
1 precision.
expertise
Yeah.
in the attack roll. That way you get double proficiency when you're targeting an attack to hit. At least when you're doing sneak or something. Maybe when the
Mhm.
attack would meet sneak, you gain expertise in the attack roll. That'll give you an extra +2 all the way to +6 throughout the game on attack rolls. But they didn't do that. They're not gonna do that. And if we said that, people would shoot me. So, because rogues are broken. I don't know if you saw the third comment on the rogue page, but it said someone was like, wow, this is so not broken and totally not overpowered.
Let me look.
No, it's really not, because compared to everybody else in your party, you're still not doing half the damage.
Because you missed your
Mhm.
attack.
Yeah.
That's
Anyway.
maybe I'm biased with the like not being able to hit more than one. Like, I feel like it wasn't one of the ones mentioned on here. Swashbuckler, I feel like, should get 2 attacks.
Maybe. You're a fresh rogue player. You're experiencing
I know.
these difficulties for the first time.
I
It's
do want to say
understandable.
there also is another comment 2 below that, which is just your rebuttal to that
Yeah.
Pertuset.
No, I read a few of them and I was like, I'm glad
I
many
gotta go
people are
look. I gotta
clapping
go
this
look.
guy in the face.
Yeah.
But
Oh
anywho,
yeah. Now that I'm scrolling, yeah, there's
There's
a
a
lot
lot,
of
there's a
people that are
lot.
like, "You're stupid. You're
but that's someone that posted it. How many people didn't post that third comment
true."
and are just thinking it and are like, I'm going to play my game where rogues get less because I still think that they're too strong because of this.
Mm.
We see it all the time where people
Yeah.
nerf rogues because they're too strong, but at least on the
I think-
horror stories.
In comparison to everything else, this is subpar as like a upgrade.
Yeah.
It could have been done better. And I will probably say alongside Ranger, this is another one of the L's of this PHP.
True. I agree. If we were on it, we should have made a tier list. Oh, we should have made a tier list of all the class changes. Dang
Too
it.
late now.
Mhm.
It's too late. Because right now, this would probably be. I mean, what you skip E in tier list, right? It goes D to F,
Yeah.
just like grades. Ranger.
I would
F
put this
tier.
in, Ranger's F tier. I would put this in D.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, once cleric drops and stuff, what else has cleric dropped yet, or is druid
No,
dropped
the
yet? I
next
can't
one is
remember.
supposed to be monk.
Next one is, well, we've got the Circle of the Moon Druid thing that we can look
Yeah,
at
it's-
if
I
we
don't
want
think
That's what I
all
thought,
of
but they hadn't
druid,
dropped the
but,
entire class. Once they drop everything, then we can make a tier list.
Yeah. I don't know what exactly the basis of our tier list is. I
I'm
guess
looking
how
at
good
it right now
changed.
too. It's weird. It looks like it. Well, okay. They're talking about wild shape changes specifically, not the entire class, but just changes to
Just-
wild
okay.
shape
Yeah.
and Circle of the Moon Druid. So, if we want to talk about that, we can, unless we just want to save until the whole class comes out.
I don't know when druid comes out.
Well, the last thing that Druid one was June 26th, so we should probably be getting one soon because Warlock and Rogue were 4 days apart. Wizard and Warlock were 1 day apart. Ranger and Warlock were on the same day. Paladin was a week before Paladin. Yeah, Paladin was a week before Wizard. Barbarian was 6 days before Wizard. So it's been 8 days, roughly,
All right.
give or take. So we should probably be getting something soon. So I would say for all of you listeners out there, next episode will also probably be another one of these again, just because we usually have about a week in between recording sessions. If they don't have another one out by then, I'm gonna be concerned and confused because what's going on? Why are they? What's happening? But I'm
Yeah.
good to leave off there if you guys are good.
Mm-hmm.
Monday, July 8th, monk. Tuesday, July 9th, sorcerer. Wednesday, July 10th, cleric. Thursday, July 11th, bard.
Okay, so all next week.
So yeah, by the time the second episode of this pair comes out, we will have the next round
Yeah.
to record.
We'll have it all. It'll all come out in a batch, week after week, of everything coming
This is
out
your
for ya.
exclusive 2024 Players Handbook coverage from Nat One right now.
From Nat One
Whole
Podcast
month of July.
with all of our concerns, comments, and biases.
And
Yeah.
yelling at the Antichrist.
And
Yeah.
the Antichrist.
Hire us.
Giant insect is my main intrigue of rewritten spells.
What?
Hey, we hope you enjoyed the episode you just listened to. If you really like our content, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications on YouTube, and look for us on Spotify. If you'd like to see us continuing to do more fun projects in the future, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can find our page linked in the description above all of our other social media links. And finally, if you'd like to keep up with the zany shenanigans of our lives and check out some more skit-based content and things like that, check us out on Twitter and TikTok, links in the description. And hey, thanks!